start recording. All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our third session for the Pay Good Beginnings. This is our Good Beginnings program in pregnancy, health, and welcoming baby. Yeah, today's topic is about breakthrough in birth. My name is Kong Chun Yen. You can call me Yen in short. I am a certified HypnoBirthing childbirth educator, a birth doula. I'm also trained in a change process called Psyche. I'm an infant massage instructor. So my focus is on the primal period of the child, which starts from conception or ideally before conception to the baby first year of life. So the first 1,000 days to shape their health and well-being. So this is a time that you can invest in your baby's health. But first invest in your knowledge, your mental health, emotional health, and physical health. And this is the way that you can help your baby to give your baby a good start in life. Yeah, I'm also the founder of Pay Good Beginnings Forward Support Group. And this is a movement that I started in June last year. So this is our 1 year of great work. We have session almost every week. Yeah, so the first Tuesday of the month is about prepare to conceive. The second, now is a second week. Yeah, it's all about pregnancy health and childbirth, and of course, a bit beyond. And third week will be about postnatal health and baby as well. So we may have some sessions about how to calm the baby, understand about baby next week. Yeah. So next segment. So I probably roughly know what you are looking for today. For how partner can help, I will just share information here. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. Okay, give me 1 minute. Let me start again. Sorry, let me remove this. Yeah, so I hope you can see this. So today our topic is about breakthrough in birth. So I will touch on what is the problem of childbirth today for women who live. For parents, basically we live in this era. Our birth industry may be a little bit different from what we knew many years ago. Our mother or grandmother's generation. There are a lot that we can do. Yeah. So note about what is true about childbirth, so that you are more in control. Yeah. Here it is. Let me go to the second slide. So this is our objective. So what do we want to achieve today? I mentioned that we have 3 stages here. First is about optimal health before conception. So the first 1,000 days of the baby's life shape the health and well-being, actually lifelong. This is what we consider the pre and perinatal health at this time. Now, of course, childbirth is also part of it. Now you are at stage 2, which is our focus is on joyful pregnancy. Reduce as much stress as possible, physical stress, right? Toxemia, mental emotional health. Yeah. So learn at this time to connect more with your baby. Have a positive mindset and enjoy the pregnancy, especially for first-time parents, right? This is a time you can explore a lot of things. You learn a lot of things. There's so much to learn, and it is so much fun to explore and get to know this baby, because baby is in the mother's womb, and it's a magical time because you get to feel your baby's movement. You get to connect with your baby. Pregnancy is a very joyful experience. It is a time you can reset your health. It's a time you can connect more with yourself. Yeah. So pregnancy helps you to expand your energy. Physically, you get bigger. Your energy is actually bigger as well. So you produce a lot of oxytocin, and you attract a lot of attention from people around you because of oxytocin, right? You naturally attract special care for pregnant mother. The more they see your belly will come to you. So a positive mindset and bonding with your baby will build a good character in your baby, and baby will feel more connected to both of you. Yeah, it's not just a mother that connect with the baby, so it's your partner, right? All right, what's the third one? So this is my expertise here: calm and healthy birth. Yeah, so childbirth is the time, it's a very sensitive period in between two worlds. It's a very short period of time. Yeah, it can be a few hours, it can be a few days. But how a baby is being welcomed into this world will shape who they are, how they see this world. Is this world very, very welcoming, or not as gentle as what they want? Ideally, all babies should come into this world healthy and complete, without birth injuries, birth trauma to beginning their life with. So this is my focus, to help you understand what you can do as parents. Maybe it depends very much on parents to make healthy decision. Yeah, and make sure that the decision that you make every step of the way is based on love and not fear. You will learn to identify that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is. Before we start, I would like you to have a look at this picture. Okay. Have a look at it and please type in the chat, what do you see in this picture? I give you 60 seconds. Once you get it, you can type in the chat. Flowers. If you're looking at the surface, you're just looking at the surface, then you see flowers, you see roses. Look deeper. Look beyond the surface. What do you see? Look like baby's head. No, it's not baby's head. Now I would like you to really focus. Look beyond the surface. You gotta just tune your eyesight a little bit. You'll be able to see. This is actually a magic eye picture. It's one of those trick eye picture. Did anyone see? Okay, you look at the middle and really look beyond the surface. You can't look at the surface. You look at the surface, you don't see much. You see flowers. You see roses, pink roses. But beyond that, there is something there. Let me see. Who got it? Mother and baby. It's not mother and baby. Something is in the center. If you see it, you will hit jackpot. Let's see. No one can see it. You need to practice. Okay, let me tell you what it is. If you look beyond and really pay attention to it, you will see a 3D heart. Did you get to see it? I'm going to skip. You can watch the recording and practice. Yeah. Now, I will help you to look beyond the surface of what is happening in childbirth today, right? So we understand our situation first. We understand our birthing industry. You will know what to do, right? Okay, so this is the first picture. What do you see in this lady? What comes to mind? Anxious, yeah. Uncertainty, yeah. Very good, thank you. Oh, okay. I would say that the first one is yes, mother does not know what to do, and there is also self-doubt there. Okay. I accidentally clicked my clicker. So the one on top, which is on the right hand corner, it's about media portray childbirth as dramatic and traumatic. Yeah, which really it doesn't help. Of course, they want to make it more exciting, right? So that when you watch the video, you watch the movie, it becomes more interesting. Yeah, but it really doesn't help. What about the picture below? Mother in labor. How does she feel? What do you think? Buried in fear. Yes. Yeah. Very good. Okay, let's see the next one. So if you don't know your options, you have no option. This is what's going to happen is that birth is being managed a lot of time. Yeah, but if you know it, if you know what to expect, and if you know things doesn't have to go this way, you can always request. So I like the idea of your birth your way. You can choose how you want to welcome your baby into this world. At the end of the day, what childbirth is about is the day you meet your baby. It is a family reunion that you get to meet your baby and say hi to your baby and welcome your baby. So you can think about your welcoming ritual. The last picture is about your birth team. Are you surrounded by people who can help you? Are you surrounded by medical professional who trust that you can do it? Okay, does your partner trust that you can do it? Now we'll come back to that question, is that do you trust that you can do it without drugs? Mainly without pain relief. No, I would like to share with you this. Kia Boon came to me. She attended one of the talk a few years back. So this is a talk that I conducted in a session. It's about hypnobirthing and of course microbirth. So microbirth is a documentary that looking at birth from the microscope. So basically, they find more information about how a baby is born can affect their health, right? So of course, at that time she was at 37 weeks pregnant, so she was heavily pregnant, and it was during the Chinese New Year period. So and she thought she was too late to join hypnobirthing, although I offered her intensive course, but she didn't take it. But you know, after Chinese New Year, I came back. So during her 39 weeks gestation, her doctor's appointment, her doctor said, you know, your baby is estimated 3.7 kg. It means that, you know, the baby is too big for her. Yeah, and the head diameter is estimated at 10.2 cm. Yeah. So the doctor did not give her an option for induction. So straight away suggested cesarean. Of course, she knew cesarean was not what she wanted. She did not want baby to have poor health. She wanted to give a baby a good start, but she did not prepare, right? So at that time, she didn't know what to do. So when she heard this news, she was very sad, and she was very upset. but she was very stressed. She didn't know what to do. Luckily, her sister called me. Her sister birthed her baby about a year before her. So the sister called me up and asked me, is it true that, she can't birth her baby this size? I said, yeah, of course not. 2.7 kg is considered a normal range. Yeah, it's still considered not normal range. So it is not evidence-based that 3.7 kg baby is a big baby. It is not. Yeah. So I gave her resources. I gave her names of doctor to seek second opinion. And so she did that. She found Dr. Pamela Tan at Thompson. So she switched doctor on that day because of her tremendous stress. Yeah, I believe it because of her stress level. She went into labor that night. And she birthed her baby the next day without any of the scary incidents. And turned out the baby was born 3.1 kg. 3.1 kg is so average size. It's considered smaller size baby. So we can't trust the machine because the machine is not always accurate in estimating the size of the baby. But what happened to her after this incident was that she carried with her trauma. Because when she looked back, it wasn't a very smooth journey. Yeah, it was quite she was quite anxious about it. Yeah, she really brought into tears, right? So prenatal stress, a little bit about stress here. Prenatal stress doesn't really help because whatever the mother feels, it goes to the baby. Because what you eat, your mental health, your emotional health. When you experience fear, when you experience stress, the stress hormone will crosses the placenta and it actually goes to the baby, and baby feel stress as well. So prenatal stress is associated with increased risk for a range of neurodevelopmental, behavioral, and cognitive changes in the child. Yeah, baby doesn't know, whatever you experience, the baby just absorb. So when the baby experiences so much of stress in the womb, they see stress as the norm. Yeah. So when they grow up, they will feel that stress is what they feel good about because this is a familiar stress, right? Reducing stress in pregnant mothers is very important if you wanted to reduce neurodevelopmental issue, because when mother is stressed, the baby's blood in the brain will go to the back of the head. So all the sensory is not quite fully integrated at time. And they tend to have more issue after birth, such as colic is one of them, right? Here we look at how you can prevent traumatic childbirth experience. So we have a little bit more information here because in Singapore they are quite careful as well. So they will do a lot of survey, find about whether the mother have traumatized experience in childbirth, and all this can be prevented. So let's look at what causes it to happen. So these are our self-reported survey. Mothers, they are first-time and experienced parents, mothers who reported that they have traumatic birth experience. Yeah, it is how they feel. If they feel traumatized, whether they have natural birth or cesarean birth, whatever it is, right? The attribution of trauma, the first one is lack of control, or they lost control. They wanted things to go this way, but it goes the other way, and which they felt they did not have control over it. So this is about 54.6%. So quite a bit of mothers who experience losing control. Okay, if you have knowledge, you will be more in control. So this is what happened. What about fear of baby's health? Almost half of mothers who feel that they are worried about the baby's health, and this is one of the trauma. The third one, the attribute to trauma is high intensity of pain, physical discomfort, about 47.4%. What can be done, right? It's about improvement in caregivers management. how the medical professional manage the birth. Communication and explanation, they feel that in terms of communication, it can be better. Yeah, 39.1%, right? Listen to the mother. 36.9% feel that medical professionals should listen to them. So they felt that the choices may not have been respected. Number 3 is about support me, better emotionally and practically. Basically in Singapore, if you go into labor, you won't expect there is much support. Yeah, medical professional, they are very busy. Usually they will just leave you alone in the delivery suite. Unfortunately, so that's the case because everyone is so busy, especially at this time. It'll be a bit more challenging. Improvement of self-management. So 37% of moms say no. They don't even reflect on it, what they can improve, right, on your own. 37% say no need to improve. As for certain action, 26.9% of mothers would request for things they want. Refuse certain interventions, 16.5%. Okay, so let's look at first-time parent, first-time mom, and experienced mom. So primiparous, that's mean first-time mother. So for first-time mother, those who experience traumatic birth, first and foremost is about lack of control. Yeah. And loss of control. Second is about the high intensity of pain. They did not expect that birth is it can be quite intense, or they're basically not prepared, and long duration of the labor and birth. Number 3 is discrepancy between expectations and reality. Yeah, you expect, parents sometimes expect you will get help in the delivery suite. The fact is that it is not. And also one of the reasons is that it is, you expect that your doctor will brief you, give you information about what to look up for in labor and birth. You probably see your doctor 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that's it. you don't expect much. Multiparous, that's me experienced mothers. They choose more than often. The first trauma is about fear of unhealth, bad outcome. Yeah, that's because you know what to expect. The first, you have already experienced before, right? So they are worried about the outcome may not be as good, or maybe it's not what they expected as well. If delivery went too fast, do you think fast is better? And now experienced mothers are worried about the birth happened too fast. So mentally not prepared. Number 2 is lack of control or lost control. Number 3, high intensity of pain and physical discomfort. So these are the common areas of trauma that women experience, mothers experience. So many of them can be prevented if you are fully prepared. Of course, we can't prepare for everything, just accept whatever is to come when that happens. At least you have control over yourself. You may not have control over what is happening around you, but you have control over yourself, and that is first and foremost. That's very important. So this is Serene. I would like to share her experience here. Now, Serene birthed her first three children in Malaysia. So the fourth one, they decided to birth their baby here in Singapore. So when Xiu was meeting up with her friend, and she was amazed that her friend had 3 beautiful births, easy birth using HypnoBirthing. While she looked back, she had 3 traumatic birth experience. Yeah, so that was not quite motivating. So she called me up, and then at that time she was about 33 weeks pregnant, probably between 33, 34 weeks pregnant. She wasn't sure if she wanted to take HypnoBirthing because she's already 4th time mother, and she never succumbed to epidural, but she was induced. In a way, she was not in control of her situation. Yeah, just like what you saw earlier. So then so happened that the next day I had a seminar. So I invited her to join me, and then she came to the session on Friday, and the class start on Saturday. And after the session, she wasn't sure. She was not very sure if she wanted to prepare her fourth birth using hypnobirthing techniques. But after that, the next day, just before the class started, the husband say, "Why don't we join?" Yeah, so they came to class. So we have to do all intensive course because of her gestation, and then she completed the course in about 3 weeks time. Yeah. At 38 weeks, she went into labor. Prior to that, she switched doctor and she switched hospital because the hospital and the doctor were not as supportive as what they wanted. Yeah. So they presented the birth plan to the doctor. And the doctor said, "Yeah, we can't, do this. We cannot comply." Yeah. So just 2 days before her birth, they took the courage to change hospital and change doctor. So when during labor, she felt quite comfortable, although she did not experience a pain-free birth. Yeah, but she felt quite comfortable and she felt better. She was much in control, and her husband was a lot more involved because he understood what she was going through. Yeah, so they appreciate each other better. And she said right after the porridge, a bowl of porridge that her husband bought her, and the surgeries became more regular, and that she welcomed her baby in a very short time. So she said, "I was ecstatic to have breathed baby down and out in 15 minutes. Of course, it's something that we don't do. We don't push our baby out. Yeah. That is a rude way to welcome your baby into this world. Who said you must push your baby when you give birth? We breathe our baby down because there's natural expulsive reflex, and you just learn to work with your birthing body. It is more gentle. So all in all, it was a blissful, rewarding, and healing birth experience for her. Just like me as a second-time mom, a lot of time when we experience a traumatic birth without our first, for her 3 times, the next one is a healing birth. Yeah, when you're more in control of yourself and you are surrounded by people who trust that you can do it and that respected your choices, you will have a better birth experience. Yeah, so it is very healing. I wanted to share with you this because this was what Kia Boon have attended. So this is a documentary, feature-length, 16 minutes long documentary. Look at what the childbirth process that can affect our health, the health of the baby. So they found out that a lot of some unnecessary medical intervention. Of course, sometimes medical intervention is necessary. It's there to save life, improve health. Yeah, but a lot of time it is not done properly. It can affect the health of the baby, such as asthma. The risk of asthma is rising, type 1 diabetes, obesity, and all that. So the children have more respiratory issue and digestion issue, metabolic disorder. You'll be surprised what happened to our children, right? We get sicker and sicker each time. So what microbirth revealed is that we have to look at our education. What kind of education? Medical education. Medical professional will need to learn what is normal about birth. Antenatal education, that's mean it's not just about childbirth education, but natural childbirth education, and change the way we see birth. That is very important. So what kind of childbirth education that we talk about? In the hospital, a lot of time, it is pain focused antenatal class. So what do I mean by that? If anyone, does anyone attend any childbirth classes so far? No? If you have attended any childbirth classes, so a lot of time, the childbirth classes will touch on what are the services that the hospital offered. So a lot of time is all about what are the pain relief options. So this is pain focus. This is the implication that our birth is pain is part of the childbirth experience. Yeah, so that again put fear in mothers. Who wants to suffer? No one wants to suffer, right? If you think about, I'm going to go through childbirth and it's gonna be very painful, yeah, this is quite difficult. Yeah, so and that puts fear in the mother. If the mother is afraid or is fearful of pain, the more she's focusing on pain in childbirth, either she will give up before labor even started, or it actually affects her subconscious mind. Whatever you hear, what you're exposed to, it can actually affect your belief system. Yeah, so fear creates tension in the body, and these are involuntary tension. We know about conscious fear, but there is also subconscious fear. Subconscious fear will take over when you are not centered, when you are not aware of it. So this is how the body functions. This is how mind and body is connected. So fear creates tension in the body, in that your body continue to open, the body continue to search, so that it brings about labor, and that you can see, you can welcome your baby soon. But if you're so fearful and you tense up, that means you are fighting with the body, and therefore pain is created because of that. Yeah, of course, more pain, more fear. So this is a vicious cycle. Now we focus more on mind-body relaxation. Childbirth is not about your pain threshold level, not about how much you can tolerate pain. It's not about your ability to relax. If you are able to relax, you don't fight with your body. And that first is to accept whatever it is that is coming. That's mean your surges, the waves, we call that the pulsation in the body that bring about labor. Accept it and focus on relaxation. The more relaxed you are, the more you allow the body to do the work, and therefore you can enjoy your process. Because at the end of the day, who is coming? It's your baby, right? It is labor of love. Right? Should we focus on labor of love or labor of fear? Let's drop the fear. Let's drop the stress. Yeah, focus on labor of love. Without oxytocin, without the love hormone, you are not in labor. Yeah, and every surge, every, they call contraction, right? Every surge that you feel, it brings you closer to seeing your baby. So all these movements of the birthing body is a welcoming one. Yeah. So you focus more on that. You turn every challenge into an opportunity for you. And you will have a better birth experience. So focus on mind and body. So this is Catherine's story, her birth story. I wanted to share this because so she represents mothers. She represents those groups who are fearful of labor, right? We know that women who take epidural, there are more than half of them. Okay, now because she attended an antenatal class that offered by a midwife in Singapore. So when they explore the options of, okay, these are the pain relief options, pros and cons. So the mind shifted there to the pain focus. So she wanted epidural. She knew she wanted epidural, but what happened at 37 weeks? Pregnant, her doctor said, well, with her health condition, so some medical condition that does not allow her to take epidural. So she's not able to have epidural, and cesarean is not an option for her as well. So what does that mean? There's only one option. The option is by hook and by crook. She needs to birth this baby naturally, and that is a turning point for her. See, every challenge is an opportunity for women to break through and transform. For her, it is that there is no option. So she was motivated to find solution. So immediately she contacted me because her friend actually took hypnobirthing course and birthed her baby in a very short time. But she was thinking, yeah, right, it can be done. Yeah. So she came to me at 37 weeks. So we completed everything in 1 week because of her gestation. 10 days after she learned hypnobirthing, she birthed her baby at 38 weeks. So it's basically, typically she actually slept throughout her labor, and she woke up about 1 o'clock. Yeah, roughly around the 1 a.m. Yeah, because the surgeons will wake you up, labor will wake you up, and wake the baby up, birth is about to take place. But they did not rush. They stay in the hospital. They stay at home for another hour plus before they head to the hospital. So they admit the hospital later when she felt it was about right to check in. So she was fully open plus 1 station when she arrived at the hospital. And then an hour later she birthed her baby. So for her labor and birth was about three hours, a little bit over 3 hours. And her husband was very supportive. Her husband was supporting her throughout, and he knew what to do to guide her through relaxation, what to say to her, that to keep her calm and composed. Yeah, the husband was calm, and of course the mother was calm. And this is what she said: as my surgery started and her water broke, membrane release, she went into mental warrior mode. Yeah, so she switched on her warrior mode, keeping her mind positive with affirmations, and she just focused on her surgery, focus on welcoming her baby. So you can always turn every challenge into an opportunity for you. Now she's a mother of 2. Yeah, her second birth was even faster. She said, yeah, it was an hour and a half. Yeah. Once you have learned the technique, it stays with you. So this is life skill. So this is hypnobirthing. So this is my specialty in hypnobirthing, because hypnobirthing, it is what I call holistic approach to childbirth. Yeah. So this is Mary Mongan, who is the founder of hypnobirthing. Hypnobirthing has been around for about 31 years, taught in 45 countries, more than 1,000 practitioners in the whole world. Birth is normal event. Birth is natural. It is a healthy life experience for majority of women who are healthy in your pregnancy. So when you change the way you view birth, the way you birth will change. The first and foremost is that you have a positive attitude towards birth. Didn't we land safely? We all landed safely, right? Yeah. So understand what is normal about birth. We can put a lot of fear aside. We just have to focus more on removing part of the conscious fear and subconscious fear. Yeah. So hypnobirthing, there are 6 components. Understand about natural childbirth. It's one of actually big chunk of it is sort of about natural childbirth education because of what happened in our birthing industry. So there are 5 techniques. Relaxation is always the key. Yeah. So relaxation, affirmations, breathing techniques, visualizations, and deepening. So all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. So this is what professionals said. Mickey said, when you change the way you view birth, the way you birth will change. First, believe you can do it. When you believe you can do it, you win half the battle. Yeah. The second is have a conversation with your partner. Does your husband believe you can do it? Why I ask this question? Sometimes I see parents, if they don't take classes, so a lot of time when the doctor said we need to be induced and and so I give them information so that they can make a good decision. And the husband said, I don't know what's your qualification, but they are doctor, they know best, and why don't we trust the technology? Yeah, why trust Yen? So I give them information, and so that they make good decision. So this is Dr. Lon Campbell. He is one of a doctor who have good intention to help mothers in labor. He is one of those doctors focus on pain as well, because in the medical training, doctors see that I'm here to give you pain relief, right? So the focus is more on pain relief. Yeah. So he's one of those doctors who bring in epidural. But he later saw a lot of side effects. Yeah. from epidural. Baby was not doing very well because the whole body was numb. Baby wasn't performing very well, and mother was not doing very well as well, right? And then he started to learn natural childbirth. So in America at that time, Lamas was quite popular, so which is natural childbirth education, but without much techniques. So he learned that, and he taught women to pen. So those are the one that you saw in the movie. So when mother was in labor or in the birth, they were panting. So the mother was hyperventilated. Yeah, they're not getting good enough oxygen. They did not breathe deeply, and baby was not doing well. They came out still quite blue. They're not breathing very well. And then he started to look for options, and he learned hypnosis. So he hypnotized them. And so his cesarean rate reduced to 3%. He saw good result, but women were not satisfied with the birth experience. They still felt traumatized, and they felt pain. There was a point where one of his nurses told him that, oh, Mickey has a seminar, why don't you attend her seminar? So he did. During the conversation, she was talking to Mickey, and her focus was still pain relief. And Mary Morgan asked him, why do you want to give someone something for pain where there isn't any? So what did she say? What she meant is that there's no pain. Why do you want to find solution? There's no problem. Why do you want to find solution? That was when he was enlightened. Yeah, that was when he realized that, oh, childbirth is not painful. So he trained as a hypnobirthing childbirth educator, a practitioner. Then he started to train parents using hypnobirthing techniques. And at that time, his cesarean rate reduced to 3%. He did not do anything different. He just teach them the understanding of what childbirth is, and teach them techniques. Yeah, and mothers felt satisfied with their birth experience. Yeah, he achieved a good result. Then this is what he said: I realized that I no longer perform deliveries as if my role is to be present to witness the miracle of hypnobirthing. I have given absolutely no analgesic drugs since I have used hypnobirthing to the mothers. My cesarean rate reduced to only 3%. So why is hypnosis so powerful, right? Let's understand. This is Dr. Bruce Lipton, his presentation. So he said, you know, our belief system, is your belief system positive or self-sabotaging? Yeah, and say most of the time our action, our decision is, we don't really make decision out of what is, you know, it's presented. Sometimes we make a decision because out of fear. Yeah, they are mostly negative belief. Yeah, we feel whatever we feel, you know, most of the time if we are anxious, stressed, and we make decision out of fear instead of out of love. How do you know if you make a decision out of love or out of fear? You gotta tune into yourself. Okay, so let's understand how mind works. A lot of time, our conscious mind only operate 5% of the time. Okay, on 40-bit processor, it's processing very fast, very slow. Yeah, conscious mind is our creative mind. If you are aware, then you are not being controlled by our subconscious belief. But our subconscious mind operates at 95% of the time on 40 million bit processor. This is like processing is really fast. So what will take over is our subconscious belief. If your conscious mind is that, I'm not fearful of labor and birth. Yep, I want natural birth. But what about the subconscious mind say? Subconscious mind is thinking, oh, birth is, it's a suffering, it is very painful. Naturally, whatever that she feel in labor, she will tense up. So this is the one that we wanted to remove, yeah, as much as possible in 5 sessions. Yeah, so it takes time to let go of the subconscious negative perception and belief system. What is hypnosis? You know, in a clinical setting, understand about how it works. right? Clinical and experimental research literature indicates hypnosis is very useful for severe and persistent pain, because there are people who enter the operating theater for operation without using chemical anesthesia, because it was that powerful. So the mind is very powerful, but we underutilize it. The good news is that pregnant mothers are highly hypnotizable, right? Yeah, very, very sensitive. At the same time, it's very vulnerable. So if you're exposed to negative information, mother tend to absorb. If you hang out with people who can do it and that they believe you can do it, and this is when you can improve your, I would say, manpower. Training in hypnotic analgesia may usefully enhance nervous system inhibitory processes that attenuate pain. It's all about calming the nervous system. If your nervous system is calm, the body can produce endorphins. And endorphins is 200 times more effective than morphine. And endorphins is actually your natural relaxant. Yeah, once you're more relaxed, you don't fight with your body. Not because women can tolerate so much of pain in labor. Actually, that's not true. And actually do experiment and on husband and make it very painful for him to experience what the wife is going through. That again put more fear in the husband, because the husband thinking, I'm not going to let my wife go through this. Yeah, that's not true, because everybody produce endorphins. Everyone, a woman can, the body will produce a lot of endorphins, yeah, when you are in labor. So the central nervous system have a control. When you are calm and at peace, you can activate the parasympathetic nervous system instead of the sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight. But before that, we gotta understand that childbirth education plays a big part of it. When you understand what is normal about birth, you are not fearful. Yeah, and then coupled with hypnosis techniques, because hypnosis is very powerful. It is very therapeutic. You can remove our subconscious belief so that you can do better. Okay, continuous support is important. In this case, who's your continuous support? That will be the husband, right? Aromatherapy, music, relaxation, and breathing. I'm going to skip through this. This is the Journal of Prenatal and Perinatal Psychology and Health. This is based on survey. So at the end of the course, usually we will send survey to all mothers, and of course after birth. Yeah. So these are the data in US. Yeah. Listening to mothers group, generally all the mothers not using hypnobirthing techniques. So these are the results. So I'm not going to go through all of them, but basically hypnobirthing parents are more in control, right? So you can see a lot of medical intervention, those procedures may not be necessary. So they can request, what to do, what to request. So a lot of all this can be reduced. So let's look at epidural anesthesia use. For listening to mothers, majority of mothers, like 3/4 of them will succumb to epidural. So they think epidural is the option, or sometimes doctors say, just take it, it's God's gift. What about hypnobirthing mom? About 28, roughly about 28% to 32%, right, will take epidural. So which is almost like the other way around. So this result is quite similar to what we have here in Singapore. Cesarean rate is almost cut by half as well. Although survey is not considered high quality study, but our statistic here in Singapore is more or less about that. It can't be too far off. A trained mind is very different from an untrained mind. Hypnosis for pain relief, based on evidence that it requires time to practice. It needs more than 3 training sessions to be effective. And yeah, one of the areas is not just about hypnosis, it's about understanding what is normal about birth. That's put you more in control. Yeah, and there are other factors as well, which is the doctor that you engage, whether your doctor believe you can do it or not. That is a very important factor here. Who else use hypnobirthing. So the Princess Kate Middleton used hypnobirthing to birth all her baby. One of her mom, she's very motivated by this. When she saw the picture, she said, well, Kate Middleton can wear high heel after she gave birth, and she said, I wanted that. and this is her. Yeah. So Diane and Rianne came to class. Now they are parents of two. She's also very motivated, even though she was induced, but she achieved a very positive birth, and her husband knew what to do. And you see what she said, my husband knew what to do. The husband is well trained. It could support her, and she felt safe, and so that she can do her job better. Okay, so this is one of my previous mommy that I actually attended this birth many years ago. So Belinda is now a mother of two. So this happened at NUH. It's an NUH water birth, as you can see. She's trained by another practitioner. Can you see that mother who is trained? We checked into the hospital. She was 6 to 7 cm open. Yeah, so she did very well at home. And in about 2-3 hours, she birthed her baby. So as a first-time mother, this was very smooth. Yeah, because she trusts birth. She understands how to tap into her natural relaxant. We all are equipped with this ability. You could see she was smiling in labor, and her husband was smiling. There's no stress here. Yeah. And you can see this, the one on my right side, right? And you see this baby, this is also a natural birth baby, and baby who is not being drugged, right, has good muscle tone. And this baby lift up his head and look at his parents and say hi. Hi mommy, hi daddy. And this is a family reunion. It's a very beautiful journey. Yeah, and this is a birth plan, just a sample of birth plan that you can choose to present to your doctor and the hospital as well. They are not new to birth plan. You can write down what you want, so you can choose your birth your way. This is what a hypnobirthing class looks like. So basically, I would say parents, if they can, just relax and sleep throughout your labor. Yeah, and it will be more joyful that way. It will be more relaxing and very easy. I wouldn't say it is always pain-free. Yeah, it is not. It requires you to practice. When you practice, only practice, that's the magic. Yeah, practice makes perfect. My dream is that all babies are well received with joy and gentleness. Begin your lives healthy and complete, and that is my dream. I have a voice, and my voice will be sent voice of baby. This is a poem I wrote. So this is part of it. I'm going to read out to you. My world is pure and conscious. Continue to keep it clean. I'm open to receive only food that helps me grow. I'm comfortable in my home. Should I enter the tunnel when the other world is unknown? I'll reach a point where there is potential for me to grow. Courage is what I have. Do you feel the same? I have full potential for growth when all connections are turned on. I deserve to be born healthy and complete without numbness and grogginess. Good beginnings is my birthright. Will you promise to be kind? So this is a support group I run. It's called Good Beginnings, and it's a movement called Pay Good Beginnings Forward support group. And this is why we have this session. We'll continue to pay good beginnings forward in our community. So you can zap a copy, you can scan my contact, and this is what I do. I teach hypnobirthing, the Mongan method, childbirth education, 5 weeks, and I offer doula service and also a healing modality called Good Beginnings. Touch therapy is a body therapy that heal trauma. For Psyche is a whole brain balance, rewire the subconscious mind for success, transform stress into a state of peace, non-attachment, acceptance, and letting go. In a lot of situations, we can clear as much as possible. Yeah. So I would like you to bring with you this attitude of yes, I can. Yeah, just believe that you can do it and you win half the battle. Right. I'm going to end this. Any questions so far? At which week? Yeah, about right. Most people attend classes between 25 weeks to 32 weeks. Yeah, and some people will attend a little bit later. As long as you complete by 37 weeks is pretty good. Most birth happen between it's actually 10 days before your EDD to 10 days after. Yeah, it's a bit necessary. Your 32 weeks is not late, right? Yeah, did you see Catherine? Catherine attended the class at 37 weeks. So you can still join the weekly class. Actually, tomorrow I have a session, and next Sunday I have one session as well. So tomorrow evening, I have a class that starting next week, this week. Yeah, that's mean tomorrow. Is there any questions so far? How do you feel about childbirth now? Are you more confident? Yeah, you can unmute yourself. It's already 9 o'clock. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions? Tomorrow we have a session on it's about parenting. So Dr. Julia will be presenting her topic, yeah, in parenting. So it's all about self-reflection and deepen the connection between you and your partner. Have a good talk, yeah. More converse in terms of what is going to come, yeah, in terms of your labor and birth or after birth. Okay. If no question, shall we end the session? Okay, let me end the recording. Okay.